Hello everybody, welcome to Coaster Vision. I'm ranking my top 10 roller coasters I've ridden this year, and only this year, plus some honorable mentions. Welcome to Coaster Vision. I'm ranking my top 10 roller coasters that I've ridden only this year. Let's start off with a number one honorable mention. Our number one honorable mention is Flight of Fear. Flight of Fear is a fun dark ride in a building. It is a fun ride. The launch is pretty punchy. Now the layout is fun too. It is a little janky on some bits, but the end I would say is the better part, with a little helix, then go into the corkscrew, then go into an airtime hill to the brakes, and that was the ride. Now after the first half, it gets a little terrible. I would say the helix part at the end, and then the corkscrew, then the airtime hill into the brakes is basically the best part of the ride. Besides, the launch is pretty fun. Now, honorable mention number 2 is Backlot Stunt Coaster. Now, this premier launch coaster has a pretty good punchy launch, plus a helix going up into a drop into a couple of turns. This ride is a fun family ride and is pretty good. I would say the entire layout is fun, and it does have a pretty good theme to Cincinnati, which I've been to this year. I watched a Reds game. Pretty sure it was the Giants game or the Cubs. I don't remember. But let's get back to ranking our roller coasters. Alright, number 3 honorable mention is Racer at King's Dominion and Kings Island. Now, I would say both of these rides are pretty smooth. They are pretty fun, and they both have pretty good airtime. I would say the one at Kings Dominion has more ejector airtime than the one at Kings Island has more floater. Now, we are going to rank our top 10 roller coasters, starting off with Grizzly. Grizzly has a fun drop. Things are going to go straight down, but you turn a little to the right, and then you go down and through the layout. Now, this ride is fun. And it looks even better at night, which I didn't get a ride, which I wish I did, but we didn't stay at King's Dominion for a while. So number 9 is Dominator. Dominator has a good drop, a good loop, with like a little wing turn, which is pretty small. Then it goes, I forget what it does, but I will show you the POV here. Now, since you saw the POV, let's go to number 8, which is Tumbly. Tumbly is a 4D spin coaster. This is one of my first kinds, and I would say it was pretty fun since I like spinning. It is a pretty good ride. I'm pretty sure I just said that, sorry. It is fun, pretty spinny. I didn't get to ride this on the left. I rode it on the right, which I heard the left was better, but I only got to ride it one time. Number 7, which is King's Dominion's new roller coaster of 2025, which is Rapterra. Rapterra was pretty fun. I would say it's better than Gatekeeper at Cedar Point, and I would say the launch is good. But I would say I would recommend riding in the inside, not the outside, because that's where you get the most shakiness from the launch, and basically throughout the entire ride. I would say that first inversion gives you pretty good hang time, and also the last roll on the ride, which gives you a lot more hang time than the first one. Alright, number 6 is Cedar Point's brand brand new roller coaster of 2025, which is Siren's Curse. Siren's Curse. I got to ride Siren's Curse on opening day. It was a fun ride. The tail amazed me. I waited 2 hours for this ride. I would say it was the what I was expecting from the ride. The ride the ride experience is pretty fun. It was my very first Vekoma. It was incredible. Now the reason I'm putting at this at number 6 is because I didn't know what if 5th place was gonna be better or 6th place, which is Sounds Curse, which 5, which is Twisted Timbers. Now the reason why I put Twisted Timbers above Sounds Curse was I thought Twisted Timbers had the better layout. I did think Sounds Curse had it beat on the tilt, but I do say that Twisted Timbers was more of the better ride. Now, Twisted Timbers starts off with a pre-drop into an inversion, into a small airtime turn, turning to the other way. Then you get turned to the other way into like 3 ejector airtime hills. Then you go through a little inversion, I would say, maybe. And then you get a little bit of another airtime hill. Then you get into another airtime hill, but you go back the other way, which is a pretty intense part of the ride. My dad thought he was gonna go the other way, but we went to the other way, which was the right way. He thought we were gonna go the other way, which was the wrong way. Number 4 is Orion. Orion was a pretty fun ride when I rode it on opening day of Kings Island, April 19th. I would say the front is way better than the back. I would say the back is the worst area to ride Orion on. But I would say the front gives you a whole lot of air. It is pretty fun. Now that Death Helix though, I almost blacked out. Well, gray out. So number 3 is Diamondback. Diamondback. Diamondback is a better ride than Orion, I would say. It gives you more airtime. I would say it gives you floater and ejector. Now it does have a drop going to water, which gives it a little bit of an advantage. But this ride, I would say, is a pretty fun ride. I would say it's better than Orion. And at number 2 is Mystic Timbers. Mystic Timbers I thought was a mid-ride until I rode it this Winterfest at night, and it became my favorite ride at King's Dominion. King's Dominion at Kings Island, which that night ride was incredible. But you guys won't be seeing my Winterfest ride, Winterfest video because technical difficulties. All right, number 1 is TT2, my favorite ride of the year, which it was an incredible ride. I rode this on opening day of 2025, which was May 3rd. This ride opened at like 4 or 3. I waited 4 hours. It was worth the wait. It starts off with a 70-mile-per-hour launch, going up towards the top hat, but you go backwards into a 101 miles per hour launch. Then you go up to a 420 spike, going down into a 120-mile-per-hour launch, just like the original top throw did. And then you go up the top hat Then you go down into a turn, which I would say is pretty whippy. Then you go down into the brakes. Now this ride is one of my favorites. I hope it never closes next year. And it is definitely become one of my favorite rides at Cedar Point. Now I would say that Steel Vengeance and Top Thrill 2 definitely are back and forth. Just like Maverick. Because I feel like Maverick has a better layout than Top Thrill 2. But I do feel like the height on the height on Top Thrill 2 beats Maverick and Steel Vengeance. Steel Vengeance has the airtime. Top Thrill 2 has Floater, which isn't as bad as Ejector. So that will be the end of this video, guys. Hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you next year.